Good greetings, my fair weather friends, and welcome back to CMS18. This is the next video in the sequence. Now, you know that I bought some cars, right? I bought a couple because I got the car buying bug. Well, that bug came back and I bought a few more. I know, right? I know. So, there's the Lamborghini. Now, I did buy a couple more, so let's take a look. This one I'm looking forward to at some point. This is a Toyota Celica 1974 MCM edition. Don't know what that is. No idea. But you can see we're running an inline 6 on this one, and yeah, nice car. Big overriders on the front bumper there, but hey, it's a mess. But I love this car. I love the old Toyotas. See what we can do with this one. It's a bit of a cowling on the bonnet there. Right, next up is a Porsche GT3RS. I don't know why I got this one. I guess to maybe do some stuff to it and maybe have a mess around and see what we can do. A lot of the mod cars have got these fake engine covers so that the engines can look like the real engines. But here, can anyone recognize this? It is a BMW. And it is a M5 E60. I think probably one of the best M5s around, isn't it? This one along with the E39. I can tell you straight off that the E60 M5 is not pushing out these numbers. If only it was pushing out that kind of power. It is a V8. If it's anything like my car, it will be overhead cam. But it's not pushing 700 horses. No chance. I think it's pushing around 400 plus. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's around 400. But I got it for like 14,000, so it's fair enough. It's got the correct engine cover on, V10. Hold on a sec. Yeah, a V8 engine. It is actually. I think it is a V10, to be honest. Yeah, I think it is. So I got that, but I haven't actually stopped there. I bought some more, so let's take a look at those. Right, we're on the second level of the garage, or garage, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to show you, because there's a surprise at the end of this one, so I'm going to show you from the front backwards. So first up is a gorgeous, a beautiful, a rare, a very expensive Aston Martin DBR1. Now, as you can see, this did not come from a junkyard. No, this was an auction car, and I paid a lot of money for it. A lot of money, guys. This in the auction, 826,000 I paid. I don't know, there's something missing here, but I don't know. Anyway, 826,000. But as is, I can sell it for 909. So I can already make a profit just by buying it and selling. I managed to get it under the what it was valued at, which is not always the case at the auctions. Sometimes you don't. I've already got a restoration bonus of 34, so it's almost $1 million already, and I haven't even touched it. I mean, I've done nothing to it yet. So the obvious thing I'm going to be doing to this, well, it's obvious to me and anybody who knows the Aston Martin DBR1, and also to people who are into classic cars, this might be a little bit obvious. There's no way I'm going to let this car leave my garage without being painted in British racing green. It's just not going to happen. This car, if you see pictures of the DBR1, most of the pictures are going to show you in British racing green, and that is how this car is going to leave this shop. Now, in the status, you'll notice that the body is 100%, the frame is 100%, and the interior is 100%. Global parts, not so much. But when you look at the global parts, you see piston rings and piston with con rod and camshaft caps. That means that even though the engine runs, this is a running car. If I want to make a good profit on it, this engine is going to have to be, I can't show it to you because I can't remove parts in the garage, but this engine's going to have to be stripped, absolutely stripped, and then all the parts have got to be either refurbished or rebought and then put back together again. So yeah, Aston Martin DBR1, I couldn't pass up this chance, even though it was a very expensive car to buy, as it would be in real life. Good luck even finding one of these. But yeah, and it's got lovely wheels on. It doesn't have the I can't remember the name of them now. Those blade things where you have to put a hide hammer on them to spin them off. You know the ones I mean, right? The triple spoke things. You see it on Goldfinger. Ones that came out of the car and ripped that guy's tyres. Yeah, or girls. It was a girl, right? A girl driving the car in Goldfinger who got her tyres ripped. Yeah, it was a girl. Can't remember what car she was driving, but it was a... Was it a Sunbeam? No, I can't remember. Anyway, enough about Goldfinger. Yes, this car is just... When the British car industry was going really well, we could do stuff like this. Now we really don't have an industry. It looks gorgeous. It's going to be leaving in British Racing Green. I love the fact that it has got only 27,000 kilometers on it, because classic cars tend to not really have too much mileage on them like this, you know, if they've been looked after. Again, only one engine choice on this one. Okay, next one. I don't even know what's next. Oh yeah. Guys, this is the weirdest car I've ever had in the shop, and I can't even begin to explain why, but I'm going to try. This is a Trabant. Now, I think some of the Trabants are literally the wings and the body and the hood. They're literally made out of recycled cardboard. It's not as flimsy as cardboard. It's a hardened version, like a compressed cardboard. But this is a cheap car. This is a 1950s though. A 1959 Trabant. 43 horsepower. Now, it is a running car despite all of this crap here. And I don't know whether the fact that the condition of these parts inhibit the running speed, but I will tell you that I had it on the drag strip. Oh jeez. The 0 to 60 time, 58 seconds. Yes, I could have measured it with a calendar. But that's not the weirdest thing about this car. It is so small, it doesn't look, it might not appear small compared to this next car, but it is tiny. What they've done to make it look right is that they've shrunk stuff in the car, so it looks like it's made for the Incredible Shrinking Man. I can't even show it to you here. Maybe I can I? The engine is underneath there, but it's been miniaturized. The real seats that you can access in here in order to sit in the car, because you can't see it from here, look. But see, you can't get in the car because the seats are not visible. You've got to take this whole seats out here to get to the real seats, and they're miniaturized. They're tiny. The seats that you buy take up about 4 squares of that cloth. So yeah, every parts have been miniaturized in this car. I don't know quite how they've done that, but it is the case. But everything here looks normal. But once we get this Trabant in the garage, you'll see. And I thought there was no engine to it. Let me see if I can show you here. Yeah. Here we go. Look. Let me see if I can get back into overview. Okay, you see that orange lump in the middle that you might think is the battery? That's the engine. That's the engine, guys. That's the size of the engine. It's miniature. But the car only has, it doesn't have any suspension. I don't know, maybe they couldn't miniaturize the suspension. So it only has 2 drive shafts, front and back. Well, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. And a tiny little engine, which is I don't know how much power that, well, it's 43 horsepower, but it's, yeah. So, and that's it. The battery is bigger than the engine in this car. Obviously, they've had to shrink it down for some reason. I don't know, there must be some logistical reason because of the size of the car itself. But this is just a nuts car. But I bought it for so cheap, I couldn't pass it up. I think I bought it for like under 1,000 or something. Let's have a look. No, it wasn't. Oh, I know what it was. It was 3,800 and something. Yeah, it was 3.8. The car price is, in other words, the car price there you see is 3,634, which means I paid a couple of $100 over the actual price. But I don't think there's a lot of work to be done on this. The interior is 100%, so it's just a case of stripping the engine down, putting it back together, and I hope when the engine goes on the stand it's the proper size, because otherwise I'm gonna have to get a magnifying glass just to work on this thing. It's nuts. Right, so we're going to go from a 59 Trabant to this thing, which is a McLaren Senna. Now, I got this rather cheaply for what it is. I saw this car at Goodwood Festival of Speed before it was actually launched to the rich public. So even before the rich people who'd already put pre-orders in were able to get their car, I saw this already. It was the prototype vehicle. But this car's around 750, 800, I think, $1,000. I think even approaching $1 million in some cases. And I bought it for 124, around that region. I bought it for. The car's in really bad condition, but yeah, it's going to look good. I think I might do the Senna, not the Senna orange, the McLaren papaya orange color on this. And it's going to look pretty good. It's a nice car. Twin radiators there, very cool. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This looks like a... Oh, right, the reason I bought this one, this is another Honda Prelude, guys, but it's a 5th generation. And I bought this because I actually owned one of these cars before I bought my BMWs. I don't own 2 BMWs, I'm on my second one. Yeah, so I actually owned this car. Mine was the 2.2 VTEC with the 4-wheel steering. And I can tell you that the figures on that car, the correct figures, for mine were 185, depending on the model, it was somewhere between 185 and 200 horsepower, and the Newton meters of torque was, I'm trying to remember now, I think 245 or something. We've got other engine options, but I'm not going to put in any 3-cylinder options on this. I may go for the turbocharged double overhead cam. That would be interesting, but that would mean taking this engine out and just scrapping it and starting again. Well, let's face it, there's not much there, and the engine is at least facing the right way in a Honda. It does face that way as opposed to down. I think, is this transverse? Anyway, right, so yeah, that. So Honda Prelude 5th gen. The one I had a subtle spoiler on the back, and then I did put a big one on. It wasn't quite like this. It was higher than this, but it didn't have these strakes down there. And it wasn't far from this color either. So yeah. Right, the next one. It's going to be a beauty, this one, guys. Look at this. It's a junker with many options, but look what it is. It's a 69 Mustang Trans Am race car. Look at that. Oh, see if we can get something like that. We've got a few V8 engine options here which we can use. I'll go for whichever is the most powerful of those 4. I believe it might be the one that we're using. I believe that the Windsor engines are from Ford, so we can still use them. One of them is a Windsor race engine. So, okay, so the next car, guys, is one that I bought from a junkyard, so it looked like this did, but I've already done it, so you don't have to sit through it. It came in as a normal car, but it had drag options, so it's been dragged. It's now a dragster. Well, I haven't gone too far to make it look like a dragster, but it looks sort of. And before I show it to you, I want to just mention that this car has done the fastest lap around the track. It was previously 1 minute 18, now it's a 1 minute 10. Because this car did it at 1 minute 10. And that 1 minute 10 included me hitting a wall and having to reverse back and then go on the track again. So I probably lost around 4 to 5 seconds just doing that. So it could have gone even quicker. 0 to 60 in 2.6. I probably could have tweaked the gearbox to make it go faster than that, but at the moment 2.6, all it does is match the previous fastest I had. The engine was maxed out in terms of performance parts. We put the most that was possible on it. And yeah, here it is. It is a Pontiac GTO in midnight metallic blue. It has a what's it called? The bonnet. It's not matte. It's not chrome. I think it might be either chameleon or pearlescent. I'm not sure. I think it's chameleon. The body is chromed midnight blue, and the wheels we made them gold. And the interior is, yeah, I got to use the chain wheel. We've got the full race interior on the car, and I'm using race seats from I can't remember what car it was now. Yeah, so this is a fast car, guys, trust me. I wonder if can we start it up in here? I wish I could rev it. Why can't we rev the cars? Ring, ring. Why not? Why not? No fair. Here's the engine. Oh, baby. Look at this thing. Look at all the engine options we had. All of them. Let me just re-click into that. We'll get it slower. So we put a V8 double overhead cam supercharged. Look at the numbers we got, guys. Check that out. 1,246 horsepower, 1,527 newton meters of torque. That's these figures are higher than the Bugatti Veyron. But I didn't sell the car because they only wanted to give me 50-something thousand for it. Look. So I said, screw you guys. For 51,000 or whatever it was, I'd rather keep the car. So I'm keeping it. For now, anyway. I'm not going to get rid of this. So we might see this come out at some point in the future. You can see it's got the drag bar, stabilizer. Is that a stabilizer bar on the back with the little wheel and the parachute? And we have the fuel cell and the NOS, nitrous oxide. Yeah, and you can see the rear tires and the front tires. I've got normal rear front tires on it, sorry, and big ass rear tires. So there's a little bit of a rake on the car, not too much, but you can see that the front here in this corner of the body and that corner, you can see that this rear is higher off the ground than the front. And it seems when the car comes down off the lift, it does actually adjust the car's height based on the size of the wheels, which is cool. And also, because it's a race car, it doesn't have the wheel coverings inside, so you can see the wheels from inside the engine. Yeah, and this is an engine cover, by the way. This battery that looks with the red things on it, it's all an engine cover, see? Yeah, nice, eh? Oh, we did a good job on this thing. Really did. It sounds like a muscle car and it goes like stink. We'll see it at some point, I'm sure. So, well, I suppose we'd better get back to the car in hand, which is the one that was the most voted for. As we've not seen it yet, it's kind of obvious, if you remember from the list, that we are now going to be doing... The Lincoln. The Abraham Lincoln car. Yeah. So I'm going to do engine and running gear first, get all the mechanicals done, and then we're going to sort out this bodywork, and it will be leaving the factory with the colours that are in this picture, this burgundy black. I want it to look like this, and I just want to imagine Bugsy Malone hanging off the side of it with a Tommy gun. I know what I'm thinking of. What's that cartoon? Is it the Anthill Mob I'm thinking of? Where does my brain go? Let's get this car onto the car lifter and let's get started, shall we? Let's get the engine out first. Oh, why has my garage floor gone back to white tiles? Huh. Something never got saved. Give me a sec, guys, sort this out. I don't know why that happened. Oh yeah, I do know why. I changed it to tiles because I wanted to have a look to see if that that drag car wheels were touching the ground properly, and I couldn't decide, so I made the ground lighter. So yeah, that's what it was. All right. Doesn't take long to do the floor, does it? Right, so what we're going to do is strip the car down. So let's get the drive shaft off. We call it a prop shaft over here in the UK, but also referred to as a drive shaft. But it's more commonly referred to as a drive shaft here, as a prop shaft here, I believe. Starter motor looks to be missing, so let's not forget to buy that. And there's another one, and there it is. Okay, I can take the clutch off now or later. Let's strip the exhaust off, although I don't think it really matters, but there's only 2 bits here, so it may as well. And nothing else matters. Okay, so bring the car down. I'm going to stick with the same wheels. We'll just chrome them and make it look nice. I'm not going to do anything pimping on this. I think it'll be wise just to do a stock car on this. Not a stock car, but a car that is stock from factory. All right, let's see if we can. Let's see if it will let me remove the engine as is. It does. Let's put it on here. Oh dear me. So it clearly, when I go out and buy parts for the car, I just have to look for the blue for the blue engine bits. All right. Well, there's even less to this now. So let's get the brake. It's not called a pump, servo. Well, it is a pump. Why they put different names on? That seat does not belong in this car. It's got with seat belts, seatbelt holders. Really? Yeah. Okay. Fine. Whatever you say. Where's the ABS module then? You're going to have that as well? We'll see if we can get some period seats for this car. I mean, look at this. We've got a 28 car, but with modern seats in the back. I suppose we couldn't fit wooden benches in. Oh, no, there are crappy seats you can put in this. Yeah, look, see if I can find it. There, look, the Jeep seats. I don't know what to put in this. I mean, we need, oh God, we need seats that look like they came, there isn't any. I'm pretty sure, yeah, let's put some Porsche Carrera seats in there. I'm pretty sure there's no seats that even look anywhere remote like they belong in the 1920s. Not even this Mercedes one. Although, that's probably more, yeah, that's probably more accurate, but I think this came out of a 2-seater. It's a 300 SL. It probably came out of a 2-seater, which means there may be no rear bench for that, to match that. There's the Jeep one, look. Just looks like a cheap settee. I wonder if that red one can be matched on a bench. No. Yeah, you see, there's no old-fashioned seats here. We might as well just go and put some really modern luxury seats in it, eh? Like this one from a Bentley. Oh, God, no. It's going to look so weird. Right, anyway, before we get to the interior, we have to do the engine. So, thinking now whether to do the running gear now. No, let's build the engine. So we got to strip this off. Strip it down, I should say. So air filter, clearly that's not going to be able to be replaced. I don't think there's much point in doing any performance parts on this, really. I wouldn't have thought so. Let's get the manifold. I mean, I could maybe do I don't know, a couple of things maybe. Exhaust manifold, maybe do a performance exhaust and that's it. And some spark plugs. But yeah, not too much. Well, there's a lot of these missing. Yeah. These valve push rods, there's a few missing from here. If there's two per cylinder, then we're missing about 9 of them. Oh no, okay, I didn't notice the rocker arms. Yay, that's period. Will they have had rocker arms on engines back then? 1928? Maybe. I'm not really sure. I have to say, I've never worked on a car from this vintage, so I actually don't know. But yeah, we'll do the strip down here in normal time, because I don't think there's that much to do. Although I say that, we do have to get the bloody pistons out. Language. Right, so I'll get the pistons out. It's these rod caps that are the nightmare. It'd be nice to take those out without having to take the rod caps out. You know, to have it auto separate. Can we get the cranks? Oh no, we need to get the clutch out now. Yeah, so don't expect period accuracy on this engine for this car. And I'll tell you why, because there's one particular thing on this car which I can guarantee you did not come with this car. I will absolutely guarantee that this car did not come with this. But what the hell am I missing here? I want to take the crankshaft out. Have I taken all of the clutch out? Take the arm off. Crankshaft and camshaft, they're yellow. What's blocking it? Oh, is it the timing cover? Could be. Oh, okay. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. Right. I'll tell you what did not come on this car from factory, even though it is on this car, because it wasn't invented. Disc brakes on the front. And yet, that little Trabant car that we saw earlier, that's got drum brakes on the front, which I would expect on a crappy car like that. This has got drums on the back. I mean, why wouldn't you put drums all the way around? I mean, it's obvious that this car wouldn't have come with disc brakes. I can't convert it to have disc brakes. Yeah, you don't get to do that, unfortunately. Sorry, to have drum brakes. Yeah, unfortunately we can't do that, so I think I'll take this license plate off because it just looks weird floating there. This looks like something now you'd give to your kid to just put a steering wheel on and go down the hill. Yeah, what steering wheel are we going to use? Because there is no vintage steering wheels. I guess we'll just have to pick a wooden one, some crappy wooden one. Okay, so I'm going to see what I can repair. I'll try and do it as quick as I possibly can. Alright, finger, go for it. A couple of parts already didn't get repaired. When you hear that boom sound during the repair, that means something not only didn't get repaired, but it got made even worse. So we do need to order some parts, and clearly, like the valve rods, if we've only got, you know, 6 of those, I don't know how many more, if there's any down there, 6, we're going to need to order another 6, because if it's a 6-cylinder engine, we're going to need 12 valve push rods. Why have I got the trunk here? Why have I got that? That's a body part. Where does it even go? Oh, is it? Wheel left fender. Rear bumper. Front end on the back. Okay. With the mod cars, you do get some very strange names for things. So, like the rear trunk might be here on the front, the hood. I think that's what it was. Yeah, there you go. And put that back for now. Just because it's a body part I took off just to get the engine out of the way. Oh, stop. Go into normal mode because you're confusing me. There we go. Right, so did we get the engine block restored? Yes, we did. So we can put that on at least. Okay. So my question now is, did we get the crankshaft done? Let's go by name, because otherwise this is going to be a right napper. Okay, so crankshaft. Camshaft is done, so we can put that in. Could go performance on that. Will not be going performance on that. But the camshaft is 100%, so that can go on. The cam gear we didn't do. The battery we can put on charge. The exhaust manifold is good to go. Right, guys, I'm going to order everything that's here as new, and obviously there's going to be new parts to put in as well. One of the actually the engine head is fine to go on as well. The intake manifold is good. Pistons, no way. Spark plugs, no way. Don't think I'm going to go with a French number plate on this one, to be honest. It's not a French car, you know, otherwise I could. So yeah, maybe we can add a little bit of power to this. Not too much. Maybe carburetor, we can go exhaust and intake manifold and spark plugs, perhaps. And then maybe just have some nice red ignition wires. But that's about all, I think. Nothing more than that. Yeah, we don't want this to be, you know, a crazy car. I'm going to put the same tires on, same type, same widths. Yeah, I'm just going to go with what they have here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go shopping, and then when I come back, we'll start building the engine up in real time, because yeah, it's actually, maybe I shouldn't build it in real time because it's going to be one of those where I have to keep visiting the shop all the time. So yeah, I'm going to go shopping, get the new parts, and then I'm going to build the engine up, and then when we come back you'll see a complete engine here. Alright, I think that's what we'll do. Alright, so I will see you then. Alright then, we have a built engine, and here it is. So let me tell you what it's got performance on it. Spark plugs, ignition wires, carburetor, and the fuel pump. There's another fuel pump in the fuel tank at the back, which I've put the fuel tank on the back of the car already with the fuel pump on it, standard one, but there's another one on the engine here, so fair enough. But that's it for performance parts. Plugs, cables, fuel pump, oh, maybe not. Fuel pump, the intake manifold, the exhaust manifold, and the carburetor, and all of the exhaust and the air filter, the red air filter, but that, maybe you can see in there or not. No, yeah, so that's it. That's all the performance parts. So it's not anywhere nuts, but it should give it a little bit more peppy power than, say, 145. It might get, I might hit 200. It might not even get that far. We will have to see. So it's not going to go in yet, because the next step now is to strip all the running gear off and get all that sorted. So then the running gear is done. Then we can put the engine in the car, and then we can work on the body, which, let's face it, is in dire need, and also the interior. And then we can sell it to the anthill mob when we're done. Yeah, so there it is. I don't know why this... I mean, obviously the engine isn't period correct, because otherwise it wouldn't have a power steering pump. It certainly wouldn't have... well, there's lots of things it wouldn't have, I suppose. I'm not going to go through it, but yeah, the running gear's all different. Okay, so I'll be putting this in a time lapse, and I will see you shortly. Alright, so that's the running gear stripped off, the engine stripped off, which means we've not got much of a car left. Yeah, so I need to, is there anything to separate? Yeah, we need to separate these parts. That's weird how there's only 3 of them. And then we're going to go and separate the wheels. And then I have to do a big shopping trip. Why is there 3? What's going on there? Yeah, have to find out what's going on. I know I don't need to separate these because they can't be repaired anyway. Oh, there's only 2. Sorry, that makes sense then. Okay. So we're going to be sticking with this. It's funny, isn't it? 'Cause on the actual wheel itself, the spokes look like they're more prominent than the center cap. Now on this picture the center cap looks huge, but in the real world, when you do it, our real world, it's not at all. See? Well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It's not perfectly accurate to the picture. See if we can fix some of these rims. They all look to be the same wheel and tire combination, like all the sizes look to be the same. which always makes life easier. 135 80/20s with no offsets, which is nice. I'll just make sure of that we're getting the right. So if I look, where would it be now? Down at the bottom. So the tyre walls, 135 80/20s. That's all of them. Vintage tyre wall Bs, and the rims are, yep, 0 offset on all of them, and they are 20-inch. So we can, that one won't get repaired, but these three may do. Yeah, so we'll be able to repair 3 of them, but just not the other one. So I'm going to do that now, so that when I don't accidentally sell it. Still got the exhaust to put on. Alright, so let's have a look at those rims and see what we can do with what we have. Let me run through this quicker. Alright, woo! So my guesstimate is 3 repaired rims and 1 not. So it's Rim Retro 13 as a 20-inch. So we'll get rid of that one. And let's buy it right now while we can. So it's Rim Retro number 13. And we want only 1. And we'd love it to be 20 inches, wouldn't we, guys? So now we've got 4 wheels all ready to go. Obviously the tyres are no good, so they'll be disappearing. 135 80/20s. Let's get those now so that we have them, because they're kind of, I'm going to count them different to the running gear, even though it sort of is. Right, so 20-inch rims with a width of 135. We can step it up to 145, guys. Let's go, you know, a centimetre wider, you know, just to give it a little bit of extra grip with that extra power we're putting on the road. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll go to 80. There we go. Profile of 80, which is quite heavy, but makes sense for these tyres. Tyre widths are going to be a centimetre wider, but that's fine. It's going to look okay like that. Actually, before we do that, let's make sure that we have 4 chromed wheels. Now I have no clue which one. I guess maybe they all need doing again. I mean, normally they shouldn't do. So all we need to do is switch into chrome and then put the brightness to the max. But do we need to have it that bright? Maybe not having that bright. Maybe 20. Maybe 60. Don't forget, it's going to look brighter here than it is out there. So 75 maybe. Maybe 80. Let's go with 80. Alright, 80. Okay. So is that now going to show a white? It is. So now that I've done it in that colour, even if the other ones were already chromed, I'll have to do them anyway, because it would be a different colour. Oh, flip. I didn't change it to chrome. That's cost me $100. And won't make that mistake again. Yeah, they're all black. It doesn't remember the actual colour that they were when they came off the car, which is strange. And finally, this one. Oh, we did remember on this one. says on here metallic though. I wonder. Right, let's go and into the inventory, and let's get rid of these crappy tires so we don't mistakenly use them. And the reason I'm doing this is just so that it's not in my inventory, it's not in the way anymore. So now we have 4 tires, 4 rims, all the same. Lovely. With just a 1 centimeter difference, which I think is going to be fine. It's not going to make any difference at all. So we'll balance the next one while this one's on the go. Tire number 3 getting popped onto the rim. Thankfully we don't have to hear that pop that you get when they blow the tires up, you know. You get that little bang when they when the tire pops into place. All right. This car's going to look good in the end, guys, I promise. As long as I get that burgundy purple kind of color right. I have to nail that color. And I'm probably going to have to do it in metallic, even though that wouldn't be my first choice, because you wouldn't get metallic paint on a 1928 car unless it was a respray. And to go with what's the other choices? Pearl and chameleon and matte. Matte's no good. I think I still don't know why we don't have gloss paint as an option. It's just so many cars in the world have got just gloss paint that is not metallic. You know, it's the strangest thing. Okay, so now you'll see that everything's disappeared except no, everything's disappeared and they're all at the top. So everything that we need to replace is now down here. So I'm going to buy all these parts and then we'll do a time lapse of me putting it all back together again. Alright, so when you see me back again, we'll start the time lapse. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so that's all the running gear on, and if you caught it in fast motion, good for you, but I did miss out the 2 leaf spring bolts, so they are now on. If you caught that in fast motion, well, respect, kudos, and all that jazz. Okay, so running gear is on. Let's get the exhaust on because this thing lights up like a Christmas tree. In this mode. So if we go to part mount, here we go. This is a performance exhaust we're going to be sticking on here, if I can actually get to it. So we have a rear muffler V8 attaching to a metal muffler, which is absolutely fine. But I don't think I can put the front exhaust section on yet because I don't think it'll let me put the engine in. I don't believe so anyway. Okay, so we can bring the car officially down now, I think. The only thing we need to take it back up for is going to be the gearbox. But I've got a few bits I want to mount into the car first. So let's get this battery, let's pick the battery up. I was able to reach it from there. I've got really long arms. And here, here I want to just add on things like the servo, the battery, and I think the radiator, we'll put that on as well. That's going to go on with the engine, the fuel filter. Yeah, so I think that's it. Apart from wheels and engine, I think that's everything ready. Wheels, engine, and then obviously gearbox and this front part of the exhaust. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and the starter motor, which we already have. And I did put the clips on as well for the distributor. I didn't miss that this time. So I think we're good to go here. Alright, let's take the engine off the crate. And I'll show you something as well. Remember that? Do you remember the drag car I showed you, the Pontiac drag car that we made? Well, the engine that was in there was, in fact, it was all rusty and everything. All the parts needed a complete strip down, but it was a complete engine. Every part was there. There was nothing missing, but it was all rusty and needed either replacing or refurbishing. So as we put a new engine in there from scratch, we built a brand new engine, the supercharged one. I was able to put the entire engine into my warehouse here. Look, it's a V8 one-carb overhead valve. It's the complete engine, but as you can see, it's in unknown condition, or questionable condition in this case. It's very questionable. This is the engine we have now. We can actually put that in my workshop. And look at this. I've renamed this to Workshop Storeroom. And I've actually got other warehouses. Same as I have parking facilities. I can just put God knows how many cars in car parks. 12 per floor, but it cost $25,000 per floor. So I did have to buy a second floor to put more cars in on this. Oh boy, it's getting expensive. But I'm making good money. I need to get back up to my 15.6 million, which is where I was before. But I'm hoping to be well busting over 16 million very, very shortly. Okay, so we are carrying an engine around, which is starting to get really heavy. So let's install that and see how cool that looks in there. Okay, you can go out the way because you're in the way officially. Oh, that looks a bit better. That looks a bit better. Alright, let's finish it off by going up. And once we get the gearbox and the starter and the exhaust on, that's the mechanicals done on this car, which is going to be good stuff. That's all out the way now. And the starter's going to click into there. Oh, accessible from engine bay. Fair enough. Some starters are, some starters aren't. Alright. Ooh. Nearly forgot the prop shaft. Not in assemble mode. Not in tablet mode either. That's no good. Normal. And sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe. Right, part mount. That's where I want to be. Who sang that? All I need is the air that I breathe. That's Chicago? I'm not sure. Right. Let's see if we can reach these bolts at the end. We can. I can't get over there. Hold on. Yeah, let's attempt this again because that didn't go quite right. Okay, that back end's gone in. Now the front end needs to go in. Excellent. Right, so just starter motor and rims. Wheels. Let's just say wheels, shall we? So starter motor, oh, is it on the other side? It might be. It is on the other side, but hey, we can still get there. And there's one more piece to take care of. Oops, that didn't go on, did it? No. Okay. One more piece of business to take care of here. Glug, 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 glug. This just gets all the mechanicals out of the way, anyway. Yes, there's no coolant hoses coming off the radiator. I know. It does this. In the same way that there's no cable coming off the middle of the cap going over to the coil. So, yeah, it's just the way it is. Right, let's get the good old wheelies on, shall we? We have got 4 good brand new wheels to go on. Top speed, it says on there. That's good. We should be getting some top speed out of this. And in case you're wondering, yes, I could have gone with some nice big fat tyres on the back. Give it that rat rod look. But then I don't think the car body work will allow me to do that, because it has to be open for rat rod, doesn't it? It has to be open at the top. Or partially closed. I think the back end is kind of partially closed. I don't know. But we're going to leave it standard looking. That's the plan anyway. But the fenders have definitely been missing. Oops. Definitely been missing for a while. So this is what we have. Now that the mechanicals are done, we don't need the car to be on the car lift anymore. So now we can move the car, and I'm going to move it to garage entrance. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. There's one more thing we need to do that requires it, and that is the welder. So this will repair all the chassis, but not necessarily things like the trunk or the doors or anything like that. So let's do that, and that can now go back. So anything that's now rusty will be coming off the car. Let's do interior so we know where we are next. I should have moved it to this car lifter here, shouldn't I? The closer one. So let's move equipment to A. Yeah, I should have moved it onto this lifter. I wouldn't have to walk so far then. So, I don't care. So that's the interior now sorted. Okay. So what's in my inventory? Eh? Now that's either because I bought one too many. I couldn't have missed one. The game wouldn't have let me put the car back together if I missed a cam. Wouldn't have let me put the engine back together had I missed a cam gear. Let's have a look at the car status. So everything, yeah, everything's good except the global body. I haven't figured out what steering wheel to put on it yet. There are a few couple of simplistic steering wheels to go on. We have a front and a rear license plate to go on. Seat, TBX and bench lots. Okay. See, I'm not a fan of this seat, but or this bench. Alright, so we better get this stripped out. Wow, look at that. Does that mean we can stick a different body on this? Interesting. Okay, so anything that looks rusty and naff and horrible is going. I think that's it. Global body condition 1%. Oh, the seat and the bench. Okay, let's get that out. So we need to go to interior disassemble, I think, and take that out. Oh, am I not reaching it? Okay, there we go. Alright, so we have just the chassis and just the frame. So now, am I correct in thinking if I go to the status, it still says 1%. Okay. So everything that's on the car currently is 100%. There's nothing on the car now that isn't 100%, which means we have everything. So, let's see what we do have. So we're looking at 1929 Lincoln. I'm sure I've said 1928 a couple of times. So this rear left fender, I'm going to see if there's a different version of this in there. And see what options there are. Maybe we have an option for a convertible or a rat rod. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep it normal. I'll try. So yeah, there only is this one option. Okay, that's fair enough. So these are all the parts. There's the hood. So what we'll do, we need one of each of these parts. That's for sure. But before I go and buy all of them, I know for sure that I can repair some of them. So, that did not go well. What did we have here? Alright, so we've only repaired one thing. So what I'm just going to do, this is going to make life nice and easy. I don't need to buy a rear right door. Okay, so I'm going to sell all the parts that have not been repaired. So all I need to not buy is a rear right door. Fair enough. We can do this in real time then. So it's one of each. And I wish there was a quicker way of, well, I say one of each. I just wish there was a quicker way of doing this. Yeah, it will be one of each, won't it? Because left doors and right doors are all separate. It's rear right that I don't need, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Just buy one of it. Oh, now we need two of these, right? The hoods, because it doesn't say here left and right. So we're going to need two hoods. This is probably going to happen more than once where we get, or where we need two parts. See, these are rear right, rear left, so you can't, there's no point, you don't buy two. Oh, look. Lincoln hood, Lincoln trunk. Okay, let's buy two of these as well, then see what happens. If I have any parts left over, I don't mind. Hood and trunk. Is one left and one right, or is it the same thing? I mean, I don't know. Right, we'll see what happens as we piece it all together. So let's have a look and we'll see what this complete car is going to look like. But before we do, let's move it to the garage entrance, because at least we'll piece it together better here, I think. So, assemble mode. I want to get this this big chassis bit on first. Not letting me do it. There we go. Okay, so that's trunk and that's hood. Oh, sugar. Ah, no, this is in an open state. Ah, okay. If I put the there you go. So now we can put, so does that mean I don't need the hood? Because that means I've got two parts. No, hood. Okay, so one part shows the car with the trunk, with the hood open, and one without the hood open. So you can kind of choose whether you want an open version or not. Okay, that's fair enough. Car's going to look nice when it's built up. The fenders are going to have to come off the car again, I think. Because when we paint the car, I don't want to paint these fenders the same color. Oh, look, the mirror. Oh, that's what that was. And we can choose whether to have the spare on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. So that means I didn't need... Oh, yeah. I see. It's all one piece. So that... Oh, no, maybe not, though. No, it's not. That these came with the headlights. Okay, I get it now. So I could have chosen to put a right side mirror on, but the moment I put the left side one on, the right hand side became invalid. I get that. I get that. That's the original door. Okay, I'm trying to understand this as we go. And this is the right body window. Then we have the front window. Yeah, see, look, I can put one on either side. I'm not going to put... But wait a minute, though. I think I might have to. Would it have one on both sides? Maybe. Maybe if we don't put one on both sides, it wouldn't give us a complete car at the end. We wouldn't get 100%. You know what I mean? Okay, I guess that's on. Rear left tail light, and then I think we need one here, which is called a fender on this side. Wow, it's looking the biz now. Ooh, mama. Now the question is, these are already painted in black, so I suspect I can paint this car and it's not going to affect the fenders. I think the fenders are going to stay black regardless of anything. I guess we'll see, eh? Okay, I messed that up. Let's try again. So now we need a front and rear number plate. So if we go into the shop, now, in order to decide on which plate to buy, I'm going to, because it's a Lincoln, I'm going to type in on Google, because I don't know the answer to this question. Abraham Lincoln, let's have a look. Now then, give me a sec, guys. Just going to do a little bit of research about good old Abe's. Place of birth, Hodgenville, Kentucky. Okay. So because it's a Lincoln, let's put some Kentucky plates on it if we have them. Kentucky would be in Virginia, right? Is it? I don't think we'll have a... Oh, we do have a Kentucky, Virginia. Is it Virginia? Excuse me if my general knowledge is no good. And we'll just call it Abe 1809 because that was the year he was born. So there you go. I don't know whether Lincolns are named after Abraham Lincoln. Probably not. But I just needed to come up with a number plate on the spur of the moment, and this is what we came up with. Abe 1809, which isn't probably too far. Well, how far is it off from this car? This is a 1929, so this car was like 30 odd years later. Does that look right? Yeah, it does. Okay. Oh God, come on. No, I need to walk away from the car and come back again. Thank you. It wouldn't give me this menu, would it? Alright, are we 100 everywhere? No, we're not. What's... Oh, the benches. Okay, benches and steering wheel. Right, well, I got rid of those. So I need to walk away from the car again so I can open the doors. See, that's what we should have. So what are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at car status, and we need to go to the bottom. So it's seat TBX, 2 of those, and bench lots, and rear left door window. I don't have it. Rear left door window. Assemble. Okay, it was being a bit finicky there. So into the interior then, we want bench. Well, let's just type in lots, because there's lots of benches. And if I'm not mistaken, it was seat TBX, was it? Yeah, no, it doesn't work for this car. I know. And steering, I think the only classical ones that would make sense in a car like this, probably this one. That would work. I mean, the one I was looking at was like this thing from an old Bentley, and then this thing. But I like this one, the Cape. It's still a bit too modern, but we can get away with that. Right, we can't actually open this door, right? No. Or this one? Okay. So, interior disassemble, and then interior assemble. Let's put the bench in. And then the seat. And the seat. And the steering wheel. Which I have no idea what they actually wanted on this thing. Can we get in? Yeah, I mean, it's not perfectly accurate, but it's good enough. I don't know why I'm looking over the seat like that, because it's not the right seats. So what we need to know now is A, how much power is it pushing out over the original, and B, is are the fenders going to get painted when we go to paint? No, it looks like those tires are going into the wheel arches, but they're actually not. They're actually okay. Right, so let's do a move. We've oiled the car and everything, so it'll all work. Right, I want that burgundy because it just looks beautiful in that color. And as you can see, the fenders are not getting painted. I don't know why it's choosing to do the spare wheel spokes. So we need a burgundy, guys. So that's like a red, but it's a darkened red. And so there's your red. We're going to need a bit more saturation. And we're going to need decreased brightness. But, yeah, this kind of thing. But it has to have a hint of purple. So we need to get it up the scale from purple. See how the purple goes to red? This is where we want to be. We want to be at the top of the hue then. Bring it down to about there. Remember, it's brighter in here than it is out there. A lot brighter. So if we have a burgundy that looks brighter than we want, it's still going to look right out there. Oops. Yeah, I did mean to do that. Now it is, I can just go with a purple and just darken that down and then start moving it up into the red zone. Yes, come on. Come on, you're almost there. Something like this. Look at that, it's right at the top of the red zone. But I don't know if we should be going all the way to the red. See, that's like this color, which I think is about right. So we can have it brighter than what we think, because outside, as I said, it's going to look darker. That's too red, that's too purple. Man, nailing this color is, that's too red, that's too purple. So, well, wait a minute, red is 359 or 0, and then purple gets to 3, let's say 310. So from 360 to 310, so 330 is in the middle. No, that's not the right color. It's going to cost me 1,000 if I get it wrong. It's actually quite a dark paint as well. But I have to get the darkness that I want, and then increase the darkness. So make it brighter. I don't think I've got the right shade here. It has to be darker than what we think. Are there any livery options? No, thank God. Let's just choose a flat for a second. It might help me. Pearl, chameleon. If I have a color flat, then it might just help me pick the color better. I mean, it's not going to matter a massive deal at the end of the day, but it's kind of there, isn't it? So if we just increase the brightness a little, say maybe even to 30. Okay, I'm going to go with this, and now I'm going to switch it back to metallic and spray it. Oh God. Did we do it? We'll find out when we get it outside, I suppose. Let's take it straight to the dyno. It's not bad. I mean, it's as there as it can be, I suppose. That's a bad lineup, isn't it? Yeah, it is as there as it can be. Look at that, guys. From when it came in with that blue and all that rust, and yeah, I told you this was going to look good. Look at that. Nice. If we go into, let's move away. We go into photo mode. We can, I don't know how to use these functions either. Like F1, hold F1, F2, F3, F4. They don't do anything. It's not to mind that. Oh, this one. Oh, I gotcha. And depth of field, so we can blur the background and have the car in focus. So let's just do a slight blur on the background, and then F2 I think is to zoom, and then about that then. Right, let's dyno the thing. So the original horsepower 145 and 294. Anything around the 200 range is good for me. I don't really want to go too much further than that. So let's see what we've done to this car. Have I gone too far? Or is it just about right? I don't want no great big gains. I really don't. 200 will be good. Alright, that'll do. That's okay. 20% gain. I'm happy with that. 176 horsepower. As I said, I just wanted to give it a bit more pep than the usual. That's exactly what's happened. 350 newton meters of torque. That's more than my Clubsport. Lovely. Hasn't got as much horsepower as my Clubsport though, but anyway. And it definitely won't be as fast. No way. I'll be very embarrassed if it was. So yeah, 176 horsepower, it looks pretty good. Yeah, very, very nice, classy looking car. The steering wheel is huge. I mean, they were in those days, but even that's too big. The car scale must be a little bit down. Right, let's move it to the garage entrance for no particular reason other than to look at it. Yeah. I mean, you could say that the burgundy is a little tiny bit dark, but it's okay. I have no idea. Let's start it up. Okay. Time to go to the speed track, guys. Oh, buddy. Be interesting now to see how this goes. I will not be installing a performance gearbox. I don't care how slow this car is. 0 to 60, I don't know. We've upped the power. I couldn't even guess. 15 seconds. I couldn't even guess. Even though I just did. Yeah, it is a bit dark, isn't it? You see what I mean about going brighter in the paint shop? Oh, it's going to be quicker than it's going to be quicker than that. It's not as quick as my car, thankfully. Nowhere near. Oh, 13.6. I wasn't far off. But yeah, we should have gone a bit brighter on the paint. Or should we? My monitor is actually darker than what you're probably seeing, so maybe it's okay. Let me know, guys. Let me know if it's turned out okay. Yeah, 0 to 60 and 13.6. That's very respectable for a 1929 car. It's just about to hit 100 miles an hour. There we go. 100 miles an hour. Just right for the anthill mob to be doing their stuff, or for some would-be gangster with the Tommy gun to be robbing banks back in the Bonnie and Clyde days. I don't know. Right, let's have a run around the racetrack and then we'll sell it. Oh yes, we will. Again, I can't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't a particularly huge amount. Let's go to the racetrack. It's not going to beat 1 minute 10 seconds, even if I don't go off the track. No chance. No way, no way, no way, no way. Okay, this is going to be quite an interesting run, actually. I think we've got it pretty much spot on. The colours, I think it's worked out really nicely. Beautiful car. Ooh, little wheel spin. I can't believe it did that. Dun 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 dun. Come on. I really should turn down the steering sensitivity on this even more so than I already. I think it's about 60% at the moment. Get it down to maybe 40. Seems for a car like this, it's not too bad. I know it's not a race car, but I am trying to drive it like one. Just coast over these curbs. So that drag car would have been crossing over the start-finish line now, and we're on the last corner. It's not going to be the slowest car. I haven't gone off so far though. No, we actually managed to stay on track. Come on, Abe. Come on, Abe. 1 minute and 35.6. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Very, very respectable. Yeah, you can't do a photo thing here either. So return to garage, and let's see what we can sell it for now. I think everything's at 100%, or it should be. Again, I can't remember what I paid for this, but it wasn't very much. It was a junkyard, so I think it was, I don't know, a couple of thousand maybe. I really don't know what I paid for it. It wasn't that much. It seriously wasn't. Okay, that's reasonable. 57,000 with an 11,000 bonus. Everything is 100%. We've got a bit more power out of the car. The car looks really, really nice. The colours we've got, I think we did pretty well on the colours. Everything is good. So the car will now sell for 68,000. Well, that's a lot more than I paid for it. I can tell you that for sure. Yes, sirree. That's a lot more. Okay, Lincoln, you are a lovely looking car, there's no doubt about that. Love those big, big headlights on the front. Yeah. That's another one done, guys. 1929 Lincoln. Yeah, looking good. Looking very good. But it has to go. So, another 68,000 coming my way. And there it is. Not quite into the 15s yet. Alright, there you go. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that one. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Which car it's going to be? Well, we had more votes for the Lincoln than any other car. It's probably going to be Kit next, I would say. Maybe Knight Rider. There's not a lot to do on that. I think just probably a respray. Let's bring it in anyway. So there's Kit. As you can see, look, I've got to buy this. By parking, it's another 25,000. Oh, now then, there's actually a space there. Now I've taken that car away, so it doesn't shift the cars. It shifts the cars along, but it doesn't shift the cars from level 1 to level 0. I see. Well, this one is complete, as we know. I thought, when I read that there, I thought I said something else there. Right, so let's bring Kit in. Yeah, I think if we just make this black. See now, Kit I know is not metallic black. I don't. Oh, maybe it is actually. Yeah, maybe it is. It needs glass, does it? No. Is Kit metallic black or is it just standard black? I know it's not paint. It's what is it? It's what did they say on the movie? It's not metal. It's not. It's a. Oh God, I used to know this. Yeah. Anyway, never mind. So let's have a look at the status of this thing. Right, so it's going to require an engine strip down by the looks of it. Rod caps, yeah, rod caps. Once you get into the rod caps which are inside the engine, that's it. You've got to strip the engine down. Interior's fine. We're not going to find the same rims, that's for sure. The engine's a big one, but we're not going to be able to find these rims in the colour that we want. So we'll just have to see what happens with these. I don't know what these are going to look like. Oh, there we go. We got black on the outside. Okay, that's probably the best we can get looks wise. I'll keep everything as is. I'm not sure what tire sizes these are, but I don't think the rims are meant to be that small. Those rims on the back look a lot smaller than the ones on the front. This is not correct. This is correct, more correct. So we'll forget those. Yeah, those rear rims are going to come off, and they look smaller on the back than they do on the front. It's got more tire wall on the back than on the front, which is really weird. I'll have to see if I can figure that out as to why that's happening. We do have the T-tops, solid roof, and yet when you get inside you can see through. So it's one way. Oh god, yeah, the whole thing's gonna have to come out. Alright, well, this is gonna be fun. It's not paint, it's not metal, it's something bonded into the surface of a new material. What was the quote from the Knight Rider movie now, when he was describing when he said it's a great paint job, it feels like baby skin, and he said it's not paint, it's a substance bonded into the molecular structure of a new substance. It's not he didn't say substance twice. It's I always used to know this. I kind of want to paint it black already. It just doesn't belong in green. Let's take a quick look. Move to paint booth. I'm just going to have a quick look at what it looks like in the different styles of black. We'll go in the side door because the other ones keep smashing me in the face. Right. So if we were to assume a black kit, then we would need, well, just that, I guess. Now that looks terrible. Well, the bodywork needs fixing, but it doesn't look right. It's not black enough. It's only the matte that looks right. Oh dear. Matte means no shine on it though. We can't do anything with these numbers because we've got no brightness. Mind you, we did say it looks brighter, didn't we? Okay. Well, I'm not going to pay £1,000 now because I need to replace the engine parts. So okay, we'll get it looking. We'll get it looking as best we can, but we are going to have to strip the engine down. I wish the scanner was moving. And it normally doesn't come from both sides unless it's car. Maybe this is car, not kit. Or was car orange? I don't know. Right, enough rambling. Yeah, I mean the seats are the right colour. They're not the right style, but they're the right colour. They're close. I'll give them that. It's close. It'll look more or less kittish when we're done. Oh boy. Okay. On to the lifter you go. Yeah, I don't like those bigger... the rims have to be the same front and back, I think. But I've got a feeling that if we put the same rims that are on the back, sorry, on the front, on the back, it's going to look too small. I was just going to end the video there, but I'm just going to have a quick look. So the one we've just taken off is a 165/80/15. I'll be surprised if this is the same. Oops, I didn't want to mount, did I? No. I'll be surprised if it's 80. Oh my god, they are the same. Then why do they look so different? Is it just because of this condition that they're in that it just looks weird? Let's do a quick split here, see if we can do anything with these. That tyre wall's ridiculously too big. Oh no, wrong one. Maybe we should step up to 16-inch. And that's just so that we can have a smaller tyre wall. Oh no, let's see if we can repair either of these. Yep. Yep, good. Oops, let's put them back together again. I know we're sticking the crappy tyres on. And we'll just balance that one. And we'll install this one. Okay, so they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter whether we put it on the front or the back. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, those tyre walls are way too ridiculously ridiculous. I'll try and check what kit's wheels and tyre sizes are. It doesn't look too bad on the front, but on the back it just... Why does it look so damn different? Is it the wheel arch that's just making that much of a difference? Yeah, it's... Let's have a look. Give me a sec, guys. I know this video is going to run on a bit longer because of this. Give me a second. So, let's have a look. So, kit. I mean, the tyre walls are... We're not going to get the bowling ball hubcaps and these rims. We're not going to get those. But what we've got is probably the closest approximation. About the actual sizes, I mean, I think kit did have the writing on the actual wheels, didn't it? I think in the early series maybe not, but in the later series it may have done. I'll have to find out. See, it doesn't here, but look at the gap between the wheel arch and the tyre. Yeah, it's kind of confusing when you see some. I need to see shots from the actual TV series, really. Yeah, let's not go with the tyre wall letterings then. So let's see if we can find out. So kit, wheel, tyre sizes. Let's see if we can find that out in all. See if we can find out at least what the stock car came with. Oh, this is a guy asking which tyres did kit use. Here we go. There were Goodyear Eagle GT 215 65 fit. Oh my god. They are 15-inch. Tyre wall of 65. That's even bigger than what we've got on the car right now. But but it's got a 215 tyre. So the 65 won't be as bad. 215, 65, 15. All right. All right. Well, what we can do is find out. If we go to the tyre shop and get a sport tyre, no, a standard, because it's a lot cheaper. Standard 15, and we want a 215 with a profile of 65. Okay. Now I'm going to take it off the back wheel because this is the one where it looks the most out of place. I'm actually surprised that, so 165 and 215, that's a massive difference. And that's 65% of 215, according 80% of 165. It might, the tyre wall might end up looking very similar, but just a wider tyre. I guess we'll find out right now. So we're going to join this rim with this tyre. So it's a much wider tyre. But let's see, A, if it goes on the car, and B, how it looks. Oh, come on. Ah! Clicking the mouse like Clint Eastwood on his gun there. It still looks a bit... Yeah, the tyre wall still looks quite... I'm kind of obsessed with tyre walls that are too much. But hey, if it looks like what the real car looks like, then fine. Let's go with that. Is it sticking out the side at all? No, it's just kind of almost flush. Actually, with those tyres, it looks a bit sportier. What tyres were these then? Because these look... Well, they're not shiny at all, but... It hasn't got these shiny, like, words everywhere. That looks like an off-road kit, doesn't it, really? Maybe got the wrong tyre on it, guys. What could we have bought? The sport tyre, perhaps? A race tyre? Because this one I bought is a little bit too shiny. It looks like it's an off-road tyre, this, if I'm honest. It doesn't look right at all. Anyway, alright. This is something we will be solving in the next video. Yes, it does. Now I can't get the car down. Okay. Right, guys. Yes, we will sort out kit and get it all ready for Michael in the next video. So until then, hope you enjoyed it. Catch you later. Bye for now. Stay safe.